Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host Shae Zombie and I am here with one of my absolute favorite people that I've ever met on Twitter, Mr. Justin Dutton. How are you doing, sir?
Yo, I'm doing well. Thank you for that amazing intro.
I'm just saying, I'm a little excited. It might be because I've known that this is a thing for, how long has it been since you very first told me? I feel like it was months ago.
Probably since, I don't know, maybe October-ish?
That's what I was about to say. Probably about October-ish. So I've known, for all of you people hyped about this now, I've known that this was in the works since October. I'm going insane. It's been 6 months of like, Justin, when are you doing your book? Justin, when are you doing your book? I've been dying. So we're here because Mr. Justin Dutton has one of my most favorite books that's getting ready to be released, and it's called Unstitched. And I'm sorry, I'm really excited.
You want my height.
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, it's not out yet. You can get on the mailing list, right? Get on the damn mailing list, please.
You will get a free goodie. I am still going back and forth currently on whether it should be a mini print or a trading card because I know a lot of people like both. I'm going to put a poll up, but it's going to be one of those. I do know that.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to decide what I want. What do I want more?
It's a tough one.
I feel like as much as I like trading cards, the art style in this is so unique that a mini print is something that I am not even remotely kidding. I will frame and I will absolutely put on my back wall. And when I don't have a green screen up, y'all will see Unstitched on the back wall right next to my Selena toilet paper painting that she did of me. And some of the other stuff that I've gotten from you guys. It will be back there.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, how much longer do they have, give or take? You don't got to tell the exact launch date if you don't want, but about how much longer do they have?
June 18th. I will be turning 28, and as my birthday gift to everyone, I will be launching. I know that's a little bit weird on birthdays because typically you get stuff, don't give stuff, but I'll be launching then.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a gift to yourself because I know
it kind of is because it's like, hey, it's my birthday. Buy my book, please.
Right. It's like, if nothing else, I'm going to guilt you. It's my birthday. Did you get me anything? No? Well, then you better go back my book. I mean, something. Come on now. Jeez.
Exactly. Like, I do know there's going to be 2 different covers. Laura, who does the interior work, she's going to be doing cover A, the main cover.
Mm-hmm.
We have that currently. It's not colored yet. She just turned that in today. And we have the legendary.
This one, right?
Yes, that one. It's got like all the villains. Like you have like the bed bugs. The little fuzzball is a monster in the closet. The boogeyman, darkness. All the villains that's going to show up.
Yeah, this is.
Because to me, a cover is not cool unless it has some sort of like storytelling aspect to it.
Absolutely. Well, and she does a really good job of making things really intricate and interesting. And so for people that are looking at this and feeling like it seems like it's really sketchy and really hard to kind of tell what it is, let's just show you a little bit of her art style for a second because
her art is perfect.
It's so good. And for people who can't see, let me see if I can zoom up without this being really dumb. It's going to be really dumb. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this. Ugh. So it just makes everything else bigger instead of what I need. For those of you who can't tell, though, basically she's used a texture with her brush that she's drawing that makes it look like it's a crayon, which is just so fucking genius for what this is because there's no black lines. Everything is a colored line. And it's something that goes really well with what the feel of the book is. It's really, it's cute and it's disarming and it's probably a little bit too disarming for some of the shit that happens.
Yes. Especially not trying to give too much away, but like part 2 is gonna be a roller coaster of a ride.
Oh, I'm so
Part 2,
excited.
you go. I can see the Don Bluth, like dark animated storytelling.
I'm so excited. I feel like it's such a cute and endearing kind of look
It is.
for a comic, but then as we start to progress, that's the most horrifying thing I think I've ever seen. This is a nightmare if I'm not mistaken. Ish. I don't know how people felt as kids when I had nightmares as a child. This, all of the many eyes looking at you and feeling like everything can see you but you can't see any of it and you don't really know what's going on, like that is exactly what it felt like as a kid. But this stuff it's just so well done, nice and creepy and just kind of unsettling, and I really really dig it.
She does, like, the fact that she hasn't done some sort of like fairy tale book.
Yeah, that's beyond me. I don't understand how, because that's something that is exactly what I would imagine in a story book for sure.
Me
Go.
one moment. I just saw a question from Black Star.
Mm-hmm.
We I am gonna do kind of like a voiceover animated video. I have my buddy Sean recording audio for that, and like he sounds like Morgan Freeman.
Ha, that's perfect.
He sound like he has that epic deep voice where you're like that Keith Davis from like Goliath, Morgan Freeman esque type put together. You're like, yo, his voice is just epic.
Absolutely.
I met him like in college at animation school, and like his voice is so good. All the audio students were like, "We need your voice."
Yeah, I have a couple of friends like that, and I mean, if you've ever heard Red Gaze talk, that's why I keep pushing for guys, get him to his audiobook, please, because he'll be the one to voice it. And I'm just saying, like Red Gaze has that kind of Morgan Freeman-esque quality
Yeah.
where you're just like, I could listen to you just read things.
See, I don't. My voice is like a mix of accents. It's very.
You know, it's okay. Everybody has their place, Justin. Okay.
Yeah.
Like nobody's asking for my voiceover for anything. Don't you worry.
But luckily, I know people.
This is something that I think highlights it really well, and you guys can probably see it at least a little bit better. This bottom panel right here really kind of sells that sketchy, like almost childlike-esque feel to the lines, with this being a really well detailed, really well created character. But you can really see the texture that she uses for the, like I was saying, how it looks almost like it was drawn with a crayon. And this isn't me knocking her. I love her art style. I think it is probably the most amazing thing ever. And when I say childlike, I mean it's whimsical. It's not like a kid actually did it. Because if I had a kid that could do this shit, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna lock you in a room. You're gonna draw a ton of books. You're gonna make me rich. Like, I don't know kids that can do this. Otherwise, I'd be capitalizing
over here. Sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, right. This is awesome, and I seriously cannot wait. Okay, were these little pillow bug things? Were these your bed bugs?
Yes, those are bed bugs indeed. They're just little tiny pests that just annoy kids at night.
I love it. Thank you, Fade, for signing up for the mailing list. We really appreciate it. And yes, Star, I would be a Hollywood mom if I had a kid that had this much talent.
Thank you, Faye, for signing up. It's much appreciated. Much obliged.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. Damn it, Justin. Why is it not already launched? That's right, because I still need money, because we've got we got stuff that you were talking about. So what kind of tiers do you think you're looking at?
We're gonna have 2 covers. That main cover where you see all the villains,
Pull that up.
That Laura did. The second cover, the highly talented, super amazing, and I don't even know how I got him. I just emailed him and asked. Jason Brubaker, who did the Sithra comics on like Kickstarter, Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first people to hit like 100K doing a comic back in like 2010, 11 on Kickstarter, who kind of showed, yo, you can, make a living doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, amazing channel. That's the cover. Jason Brubaker.
I love this.
Just
cover.
so awesome.
It's just it's so wonderfully creepy, and I love how like these like eye things are swirling around their legs, and the teddy bear's like, I got this, I got you. Kind of trying to protect her. She's like, I don't know that you do. There's a lot.
And like I didn't even notice it when he first sent it. Like right where her elbow is, there's like a moss in the closet. You see some bed bugs.
Oh gosh! Holy shit! I've stared at this. I don't even know how many times. I never saw this face in the background.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
That face is a hidden face that you kind of miss the first two times, and you go,
wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just got so caught up with the red eyes, I didn't even pay attention. And you got all of the bed bugs in the background that are just spilling out everywhere. Oh my gosh. There's so much more to this that I didn't see. Damn it. That is awesome. Holy shit. These are so already, if you're not already sold, then you don't have a soul or childlike wonder, and I feel bad for you, and I need you to like go hug a child and let them tell you a story and see if that gets it back, because this is whimsy to like the nth degree. This is amazing.
Yep. So we're gonna have a book. You can pick whatever cover you want. There'll be 2 packs, mix and match 2 packs. Book and a poster. Let's see what else we have. I do know we have a massive tier that's going to be like $150.
Okay.
But you're going to get a 12-inch Boogeyman teddy bear. It's going to be limited to like 5 people only. You're going to get 2 books, 1 of each cover, and the poster.
So 4 people only, because bitch, I will cut you. Like, I'm gonna work extra because I'm getting that damn teddy bear, and I swear, all of you watching, as much as I want Justin to succeed and I want you guys to push him up into 5- and 6-figure territory, you take that teddy bear, I will cut you if I don't get mine first. It is happening, damn it. Anyway, sorry, really passionate about this project. Really want that teddy bear.
Even come with a certificate of 1 of 6. I know I said I'm going to sell 5. But I'm getting 6 made because I gotta have 1 for myself. So I'm gonna have icons, so I can have like a table behind me, and people go, "What's up? Like, read the book. It's awesome. You should buy it."
Should totally get the book. You know what? I'm getting called out on my own show. Really? You know what, Star? Let's just join forces, and there's 3. There's only 3 tiers that anyone can get. The rest of them are me and Star. Joe, are you getting in on this? Is there only 2 left? There might only be 2 left. I'm just saying. Streets of Crenshaw in LA. Oh, I love it. This is hilarious. You already got, and that should, all of this in this chat, I know we're being ridiculous, but that should really kind of boost your spirits a little bit. You have so many people.
Because I know like 150, 2 books, poster, and a custom teddy bear. Like, it's kind of steep, but I'm like, I don't know how well. But I mean, 12 inches, I mean, it's pretty.
It's a bit, and he's got all of these.
I forgot to say. His eyes glow in the dark. Adding awesomeness to it. Eyes glow in the dark is
happening. Damn it. Yep, happening. I'm gonna start. I don't know. Does anybody need any services? I can do holographic posters. I can make pins. Damn it! I want this damn teddy bear. Oh, Fade, we can get along once Shae has backed at 150 and has her little custom plushie. Then we'll all get along just fine. If I miss out on that, Justin, I'm gonna cry. I just want you to know that. And Froggy is down with the glow in the dark eyes. And that's how he plans on paying for the tier. If you accept sexy frog dances.
Ones.
Oh my gosh. What I was getting at is, so you've been around for quite a while, and you've kind of done the model that's suggested by some of the bigger guys, where you build this kind of fan base, but you've done it in a very different way, because you haven't been streaming and building a YouTube channel. What you've been doing is promoting all of these other projects.
Yeah.
And you've been helping all these other people get eyes on things. You've been bringing in people that we didn't even know existed into this circle and being like, hey, did you see this? This one's kind of cool. Maybe check this one out. You've built a fan base in a very different fashion. And now that you're launching, everyone's like, I mean, Justin really helped out when I was launching my campaign, or I've seen his name go around and he's promoted, 30 different places or 30 different projects. And I want to make sure he does good, because he's a good guy. Like, you did a good job of building that up for you.
Yeah, I mean, well, I live in the country, so I mean, I tried doing a YouTube channel, but I was like, 10-minute video took like 8 hours to load, and I was like, I ain't got time.
that does make it difficult. Star has another question for you. Is there going to be a quest for needle and thread, possibly an Ashcan side story, considering it is called Unstitched? You've given him something to ponder, Star. Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is
I
how we make.
Obviously, like, this is part 1 of 2, but the story of Unstitched will continue with further stories, and I might I know Laura loves the world we've created, and I know she definitely enjoys drawing it, and especially she's well paid to do it.
Take care of your
so the option of, hey, would you like more money to do more work? I guarantee she'll say yes.
So now you just have to write it.
Yeah, so now I just gotta write it. It will be might do an Ashcan.
Nice. That could even be like a fun little, since the story is a little bit more on the creepy side and all that. And while it's still, if correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time we talked about this, you were doing this because you were trying to write a story that you thought that your nieces would enjoy.
Yes, actually, so the main character, her name is Eleanor, named after and designed after my niece, who is currently 3 years old.
Oh my gosh, she's only 3?
Yeah.
When she grows up and sees it, she's gonna lose her mind when she realizes, like, I still have, way back in the day when I was growing up, like in the early 90s, they had these stories that you could buy where your parents could put your name in and like your friends and your whoever in, and it would take you through a story, and they were canned stories. It was the same story for everyone, but you got to put your name and whatever. And I still have that book where my mom put me, my cousin, my nieces and nephews and all that kind of stuff in this book. And I remember reading it when I was a kid and going like, my name's in a book, I'm famous now. And like, I just felt like that I was the coolest person ever because my name was printed in this book. And it took me until I was a little bit older to realize my name was printed in a frame of a book that 300 other kids' names were printed in the exact same fashion, but it meant something to me. And this is better than that. This is, I built you a story and a world.
Yep.
God, so cool.
I know my mom's like, because I have a nephew who's 1, and my mom's like, so next book, you're gonna do something for him? You're gonna do something for Logan? And I'm like, he's in this like cameo, but he's a baby in the story, and he's 1. He doesn't have a full-fledged like personality yet, but possible. Probably not Unstitched 2, because I'm already plotting that one.
Maybe
by like the third one. But by like the third one, he should be old enough, and
You could do another. You could do a spinoff that's connected to Unstitched and call it Patches, and that could be his. Sorry. I love what you've done with your world, and there's so much that you can build from it because it's such a cute world that has
like I've had a few of my friends read it, but really like the ones who are like the most ashholeless friends. So I know this sucks. They're gonna just roast it,
right?
And one of the best compliments I got is one of them's like, "Hey, I read the first like 22 pages. Holy crap, this world just feels like it's so lived in."
Oh, that's good. That's really, really good.
It's awesome. That by like page 10, 12, you're like, there's more to this world, and it already feels like nothing new, but you just kind of dropped in and it's all new to you.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Star has one more question for you. So IndieGoGo is the top platform, but will you go to Kickstarter also to see who else is potentially out there?
Me launch on Indie or Kickstarter or
like
maybe
Unstitched to a Kickstarter campaign after your IndieGoGo.
I might. I know a lot of people in like the CG community is very anti Kickstarter. I understand that with the whole Richard C. Meyer thing, but I also know a few like Gilbert with like Deep Dark. He did a Kickstarter after his IndieGoGo. I think I will because like let's be honest,
he did Kickstarter first.
Yeah, she did Kickstarter.
She did really, really well on Kickstarter, and then turned around to IndieGoGo and did way better. But just
so did Blake Northcott with her book Kickstarter than IndieGoGo. Definitely. So will people do it? I'm definitely probably going to do it because why deny extra readers and sales?
Right. Well, and I think especially when you're looking at your kind of book. So I know that Raven went to Kickstarter for two big reasons. One of them being because Kickstarter, if you don't know about the crowdfunding scene, IndieGoGo is still not as well known as Kickstarter is. Kickstarter is still a better known platform.
Yeah.
It's got ads and has been around forever. But she started there because that's what she knew. And after doing a little bit of research, she said, well, you know, my style is kind of chibi, and that's a lot bigger on Kickstarter than it is on IndieGoGo.
And I feel like Laura's art style is a very Kickstarter-friendly art style.
Mm-hmm. See, and just like Frog was saying, so there's some people that are IndieGoGo only, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other audiences that you can reach that are also on Kickstarter. And it comes down to the people that are within Comicsgate, the people that are within Indie Comics may understand what goes on with Kickstarter, and they may not support it. And that's phenomenal and 1,000% your choice. And that's what the power of consumerism is, because you decide where you're spending your money. But when you're talking about the general population of people, there's a lot of people who don't know that IndieGoGo exists, but they do know that Kickstarter exists.
Yep. I will say I will always launch an IndieGoGo first because it has the cool feature of the mailing list. Kickstarter does not. Also, you have the in-demand store. And I really just like I like the layout and design look of IndieGoGo a whole lot more than Kickstarter. And the fact that you buy, it takes your money out right away. Yeah. I hate the whole Kickstarter, like, I really want to back this because there's a special 24, 48-hour thing. Now I just have to remember, I got to have like $75 or $40 in my account, like 30 days from now.
Yeah, and that's something that
you're like, buy something and you're like, what do you mean? How do I lose?
Yeah. And that's something I can't stand. Like when it comes down to, if we're going to put the politics of both platforms aside and you're just going to look at the functionality, IndieGoGo I think does a lot better for indie creators because it gives you a lot more control. It gives you a lot more features. It gives you a lot more that you can kind of do throughout your campaign. Whereas Kickstarter, you kind of launch and like, all right, well, you launched. That's what it is. It is what it is now.
Yeah. And that's why I will always go with IndieGoGo first.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my preferred platform.
Yeah.
I am gonna do if I hit funding, I will do a mini campaign on Kickstarter, try to widen the audience.
And that seems perfectly fair to me, especially, and you know, you can even in this first run, maybe you do a Kickstarter and you find out, well, okay, yeah, the Kickstarter, I got, you know, 2 or 3 more backers or whatever you end up getting, and you can make the decision, is it worth me and my time to go through and do Kickstarter for a couple extra people, or do I maybe just need to make sure that I market well enough to a broad enough audience that those people would have found the IndieGoGo?
Yeah. I know I'm on like 6 different like comic or indie comic Facebook groups. I know like Japan, I found out you doesn't have IndieGoGo, like you can't. And then I found like my artist Lars, he's from Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Kickstarter.
Right.
So you know the whole idea of just being exclusively one. I'm not gonna do like the Billy Tucci and launch simultaneously.
that does seem a little bit like you're trying to shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, that one was. It's better to try to steer more one way and then do like a second campaign.
Yeah.
But I've heard people go back and forth, like Jason Brubaker. Oh yeah, Switzerland. Jason Brubaker did that with like Sethra, where he went on IndieGoGo, does last Sethra, and then Kickstarter. He mostly did Kickstarter, but he's like, hey, tides have changed. IndieGoGo is like the place to be when it comes to comics. And the numbers look better if you just go on one platform than divide it. Because even though your total number is still the same, the total number looks better just on one.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
But
in all honesty,
really
you're not going to know until you try. So if you try and it doesn't end up being profitable, you didn't really lose anything as long as you have a really good run on IndieGoGo and you're still able to fund through IndieGoGo. And with just like Star said, you are going to do so well. You've been working so hard for this, and you've done it really well, where it's almost been like a whisper campaign where you've done like, you let a couple of people know a little bit here and there, and then those people were like, dudes, you have no idea what's waiting for you when Justin launches. Like, just wait, because I know that I've known some stuff. I know that you've got like Crystal McGee. I'm pretty sure Star knows.
Yeah, you, Michael from Skits, and Matt from Kiri are like 3 that probably have seen more behind the scenes than most people, besides like family.
I'm just saying, I'm super excited.
And I have heard nothing but like good feedback, especially with Laura's art. But you know, I knew that, you know, like, it's a comic, art's the selling point. And I will say, and this sounds a bit harsh, there's some creators who might have a really great story. Save up a little bit more, find a better artist.
Yep, and that's the thing, is your artist for like what I'm hoping to do eventually, which is a horror anthology, is not going to work. That's not a good match. However, she is a phenomenal artist, especially when it comes to this kind of story where we're going to do a story, but we're doing a story that, while horror themed, is also a little bit more geared towards being a little bit more accessible to kids. Because looking at this, and I'm just going to bring it up again because I'm in love with it. Looking at this and this art style as a kid, this is what, like, think of the Fairly Odd Parents from like Nickelodeon and stuff. This is a lot of what that kind of art style is like, where things are a little bit more accessible. It's not quite as harsh. It's not quite as
Billy and Mandy is another good one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
British, but it had its moments.
Yeah, and I think that the art style that you have is something that's really going to help usher a younger audience into this, but then you're going to start hitting them with actual, like, somewhat scary, somewhat, a little bit more maybe mature things without it being outside, without it being inappropriate for their age, right? But you're going to start like, hey, you've had nightmares and it's been kind of like this, and this is kind of some of the things you've seen, and oh look, we have teddy bears that are going to fight for you and stuff, and you're giving them that accessibility into, this is obviously bad, these are obviously good guys, they're going to fight the bad, and it's everything else in the story that's going to be for the parents that are reading it to their kids. But you've got at least the art style in a way that's really accessible and that doesn't feel so, I guess, grown up. Because when you sit down with a kid and you show them something that's a little bit too grown up, they lose interest because it doesn't feel like it's registering for them.
Yeah. And like the funny thing is, so there's like one really amazing Facebook group I'm in called like Comic Creators Seeking Commissions.
Okay.
Huge wealth of talent. That's where I found Laura at. And the moment I was like, hey, I'm looking for like an artist for about an 900 page graphic novel. This is a paid gig. Once you say paid gig, everyone's coming out the woodwork.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I spent like 2 weeks looking at different portfolios and stuff. I was like, hey, I'm looking. It's a dark fantasy horror for children with like slight horror elements, I should say.
Yeah.
But more dark fantasy. I had a few people go, who does dark fantasy horror for kids? I'm like, never read Goosebumps? Get out of here.
Right. That was one of my favorites as a kid.
Some people though, and I even, say like a professional artist whose style you want. I also put like, hey, I'm looking something more like Scotty Young, especially like I Hate Fairyland. Is what I was hoping for. Hello, doggo.
Every time. Every spring lately, she's like, I'm just gonna go out this way, it's quicker.
But you have some people who they just saw dark and they saw horror and they were like, here's a drawing of like a skeleton eating somebody's brains, and you're like, that's a really cool drawing. That's not what I'm looking for.
For the for kids aspect, you seem to have forgotten. Like,
yeah,
it's a fine line that you're walking, but I think that you've got a really good team to do that with. And I like how you kept the color palette, like we were saying, you kept a lot of the dark blacks and stuff, most of that out of it, and you kept it colorful and a little bit brighter while still being at night and being fantasy and all of that, and still being kind of creepy. And like the only thing that really seems to have black when you really look at it is the baddest things in the comic are the things that are black.
Yeah.
Everything else is brighter.
Yeah.
And I like it.
And I told her like hey, at night times just do like, bluish purples. Let's try to avoid like harsh blacks. And that way the darkness can actually pop more.
Absolutely. Well, and it's a lot more shocking when you actually see it because there's not so much black that's already in the panel. So when black shows up, it's like, oh gosh, this is really unsettling in this world because everything else seems so much happier, and now all of a sudden it's really dark and really creepy and really foreboding and all of that.
Yep. And honestly, so there was like two artists, Laura and another artist, he was like the runner-up artist, in all honesty. He's a like Italian artist, Enrico Orlandi, something like that. He has a book that was translated through Dark Horse. It's a book he did like called The Flower of the Witch or something like that. Dark Horse was supposed to translate it in English, release it in June. But with the whole virus and stuff like that, I don't know when that's coming out. But he also had a really cool kid art style, but Laura just beat him just like this much.
Just a little bit more what you were looking for. Will you get this dog? I swear. I'm sorry, everyone, for my continual disappearing green screen. The dog that doesn't understand boundaries. All right. So we've talked a little bit about your tiers. We've shown a good chunk of the art. We've gushed a lot. So I'm going to kick it over to the audience. Do any of you guys have any questions specifically for Justin that haven't already been asked? Because Star got some real good questions in there. I was really happy to see that. But I'm going to kick it over to see if anybody in the chat has any questions. Is there anything else that you really want to kind of talk about with this campaign?
All right. So I did ask the question. I'm going to try to do a retail packet. Like 6 books, 3 of each cover, poster for each book for like $100. I don't know how well it's going to sell. I have talked to my local comic shop. They're gonna probably get one.
Okay.
And I am gonna offer like full buyback. Like, if you can't sell the books, I'll buy them back from you.
Wow, that is something that a lot of people are not doing, which is that's impressive.
Especially because I know a lot of shops, they don't really want to. They definitely don't want to take a real risk on an unknown indie book or whatever, because a lot of shops have been closed for like 2 months because of the thing.
Yep.
I don't want to say it because I don't know if you're big enough or whatever, you can say it.
It doesn't matter, man. They find you. I tell you.
But there'll be a post for every book, 3 of each cover, $100. So that's essentially like 2 books free.
Wow.
With buyback.
I agree with Fade here. Dang. See, that's a level. This is another thing I find really interesting. That is a level of confidence in your product that we have not seen yet. I'm
a very. It's one of those like, all right, so it sounds a bit lame, but back in high school, I was very, very overconfident, like borderline cocky. Like, I went by like Justin the Great One, Dutton, and in fact, in art school, I signed everyone the Great One. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very conceited. Like, my art teacher eventually was like, I'll take off 5 points if you don't put off your name. And I was like, I'm cool with a 95.
Oh my God. Terrible.
But I know with Unstitched, we have a good book. We have this is going to be one of the best books that come out in 2020. I'm not afraid to admit that. And I know when I did say that, some creators of the Dead Beats book got mad. When that came out and some of the art was shown, and I was like, yo, next year, 2020, I'll have one of the best books. And I went at it with a few of those creators. No harm, no foul. I was like, hey, best of luck. But some of the art I think could have, an art shouldn't have been on a professional published book yet.
I honestly, I feel like what you've got going is a perfect blend specifically for this story as well. Yeah. And I think that it's going to be very interesting. We do have a question from David Feed. He wants to know, is this going to be 0 and upward ages, or what?
I would say like a 6-year-old could read it. But I think around age 8, 10, you'll understand a lot more of it. Because much like an animated movie, like a classic, really well done, like Disney or movie or like Don Bluth film, there's the surface level that is very kid friendly and appropriate. And then there's an underneath level where a lot more people of higher reading comprehensions are gonna go, okay,
Right, where you
I
can
see what
see
you
little
did
things and little like themes and stuff that are floating
there.
through.
Because like I don't want to sound too technical, but so being afraid of the dark is like one of the biggest fears.
Yeah.
But the way I view it is no one's actually afraid of the dark. In the darkness, your fear takes form.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to put it. That is a really good way
So
to put it.
what you're actually afraid of starts to kind of like manifest in your mind and the darkness. Like that's the darkness power.
Yeah. Ooh,
Um,
I like that.
and especially in like part 2, you'll see a lot more of that. Because like part 2 has so many good parts. But definitely part 1, which will be launching again June 18th, still going to be really great. You're just going to be kind of mad and like, I want the second half.
I feel that way about most of these indie comics that are that have multiple pieces. As I'm usually like, I was just starting to get into it, and now it's done, and I want to know what happens next. Oh my gosh. All right. So final call for questions from the chat. Honestly, Justin, I can't wait for this. This is going to be such a great project, and if you guys have not signed up already for the mailing list, please go get yourself on that. I will post the link once again so you guys have it at the ready. But this is a book, this is a project that you're not going to want to miss out on. I've seen, like Justin has said, he's given me, I've been lucky enough to get a little bit more behind the scenes peek, and everything that I've seen from this, it's very consistent, it's very entertaining, it's something that makes me excited to want to turn the pages and see more of. And I think that this is going to be one of those books that, like, yes, it's intended for older audiences, but if you wanted to sit down and read it to your 4-year-old or 5-year-old, they'll enjoy it on a very base level, and they're going to enjoy like the pretty pictures, and they're going to enjoy like, oh, there's the teddy bear, and he's got his little sword, and he's got his little whatever, and he's gonna go fight things. Like, they're going to enjoy that part. It's when it's one of those things that when they go back and read it, when they can read and when they're a little bit older, those fond memories they had of you reading them are going to be just expanded upon when they start to understand more of the story, and they get to almost rediscover it a little bit later in life. And that's something that I think is really cool, and it's very difficult to do. So the fact that that's something I feel is probably going to be where this goes, that alone for me, that makes me want to back it.
Yeah, and like I do know, like in the CG community, we have Sean Davis's Pillow Man, Tug's Little Umbrella, and like Mandy's What the Wizard. Like that's three projects that are kid friendly.
You got
Come on, like
the Lazy Witch.
Yep, and the Lazy Witch as well. So there's like four books total.
Yeah.
I honestly think quality wise, I'm gonna beat all of them.
Ooh, them spicy words.
I definitely probably won't hit the money amounts of Little Umbrella. Like Tugs just has a huge channel.
Also, I am gonna say, and I will say this, Justin, that was a fun read. That was a really fun read.
Yeah, it was.
Those are big shoes to try and smash down.
But I do think I can. If there was a rating system,
throw down.
I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I'm saying Unstitched would be like the #1 kids book.
Wow. Huh. I mean, I gotta defend my little sis too. Machi's is a real good book, but it's also not. It's not geared towards as young of an audience as you are able to go down to, because Machi is dealing more in the preteen, teen kind of level. Yep, I kind of agree with David Feed. This reminds me of The Good Night, but kid friendly.
Yep.
I would say that's pretty apt. Because the Good Night does not seem kid friendly in the least. Every time I was like, oh, it's a little teddy bear. Then I click on it and I was like, that is not something I would show my child. That would give them nightmares. Like, holy shit. That is half of that gives me nightmares.
The art for the Good Night. Shout out to Crystal and her team. That is just one of the best looking books. Like, bar none. It beats so many other books.
Yeah, it's an interesting looking book for damn sure. That is for damn sure. I need to sit down and actually read it. But yeah.
The funny thing is, actually, like when she launched hers, I just finished the script for mine and I looked at it and went,
damn it.
Like I was very worried, like but then seeing some of her, like more of her art, I'm like, no, we're going for different audiences. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good. So yours is the younger audience. Hers is when your audience grows up.
Exactly. Like read Unstitched. Wait like 10 years, 15 years, whatever. Read the Good Night. You're good. Or if you're an adult, read both. Just don't read one to your kids.
Yeah, that's probably pretty fair. So this has been really exciting, and I can't wait for when you launch. I know that we were talking, and I don't know, I haven't nailed down if I can get Justin to agree to launch on Red Valkyrie yet or not, but we were talking about on launch day, we do want to have you on Red Valkyrie, even if you don't launch with us.
Yes.
Which would be a mistake.
We'll share a cupcake on stream.
Absolutely going to. I'm going to make sure that I have the day off. I will have a better cosplay, specifically of your adorable little blonde-haired girl, and we will share a cupcake, and I am super stoked for it. It's going to be super fun. So go sign up for the mailing list. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat, for coming out. Thank you, everyone who's going to watch this in replay. You guys are awesome. Super awesome.
Thank you, everyone. It's been awesome.
And thank you so much, Justin, for coming out. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I can't wait to have you on when this is live. And I will buy my tier on stream, unless you don't launch with me. I will buy my tier and talk about it on stream.
By the time I launch, the teddy bears are supposed to come like beginning June. Ooh. So I should have them before I launch. That actually show off.
Damn it, I'm gonna have to work a little extra hours at this cleaning gig. That's fine. It's gonna happen. It's happening. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out. Please make sure that you like this video, share it out, and don't forget to subscribe to Red Valkyrie. And we will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.